Hello, everyone. It's Adrian from the Pageant Project, just for a change. I have wrestled hosting duties back from Miss Latimer just for this episode because we're going to be talking about the book, and that's what's been on my mind. So there's lots of stuff to discuss. If you have any questions, put them in the comments now. And just before we get to the matter at hand, let me introduce everyone. So obviously, got Danielle. Danielle, how is everything?
Yeah, good, thank you. Back in London. We're about to go into T3, which is always fun. But other than that, looking forward to Christmas.
And that photo still was not hung up on the wall, is it?
No,
Oh my gosh, how long ago was I on here? It was still not up.
I don't
5
think it
years.
will ever go up on the wall. I think the time it will go on a wall is probably when I managed to buy my own house.
I'm
least
definitely going to
committed.
finish this book before you get that photo
Yeah.
up on the
Yeah.
wall. So I would win that bet. Now, in the bottom left is a familiar yet pixelated face because of her internet, Imogen Chapman.
Sorry.
Imogen, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, all good. Sorry, my internet is so bad. I don't know why you keep asking me on. Because
If
every
anyone
time
really
I message
wants
you,
to
like,
know,
Adrian,
if
help.
anyone wants to know why I keep asking Imogen on, all you have to do is watch Imogen's stories. I swear to God. Imogen, when you do those stories that end up being like 10 stories long, are you trying to be entertaining or are you just rambling and ranting?
No, I'm just chatting. I'm just talking, like just literally just chatting rubbish. Yeah, I don't know. My problem is I can talk about something for like a minute and then I'll think of something else and then I'll go off on that tangent and then I'll be back on that one and then it just turns into this like 3 hour long story. Sorry.
If anyone saw Imogen's run-in with the sticker that was on her desk, it was, I swear to God, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. She was going on about her phobia about stickers. She has a legitimate phobia about stickers. And as she
Wow.
starts her story, there's one right in front of her on like one of her makeup things. And she starts like crying, laughing. And I swear to God, I thought she said, "That's my nan." And she picks up this thing. I'm like, Imogen, why is that your nan? And it was that's one there, but because she was crying, I didn't hear. So anyway, highly recommend you follow Imogen for the laughs. Just saying, and you should start a YouTube channel because you just,
Oh, not sure. You know what my editing skills are like, Adrian. Come on.
oh God, yeah, don't remind me. Okay, I'm going to move on before I become traumatized. And then in the bottom right is another familiar yet much clearer face and enviably sunny.
I know,
Holly
I got like
Nelson.
No.
the 5 o'clock hour, like golden hour sun right here in the office. It's incredible.
This is like a 5 o'clock shadow, but the one that you want, not this 5 o'clock
Complete
shadow.
opposite.
5 o'clock shadow. Okay, so Holly, how has everything been going for yourself over in Miami?
Wonderful. I guess we haven't had any other lockdowns or we haven't moved backwards at all. So we're still pretty much open. I think it was kind of crazy the other day. I saw that we had an entire like Miami Dolphins football game, which I just feel like it's a little excessive in the middle of a pandemic. But the mall, the shopping mall, which is right here next to the office, the entire parking lot is full. It's crazy. But so far, personally,
you guys are having a
good.
pandemic, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
tell that to Florida.
That's what the news told me anyway. The fake news. Here in Australia, I got to say we're almost back to normal. So enviably so, and going into summer. Although it is going to be quite a wet summer, unfortunately. But I'm still happy in Australia. Okay, we should get to the book. So, guys, if you have any questions about the book and the information that you want to know, the good, the bad, the ugly, do let me know. A reminder that I'm wrapping up submissions on Monday the 14th, which is today for most of you. For me, it's actually the 15th. It's Tuesday because Australia and New Zealand are ahead, remember. So technically, I shouldn't be getting any more submissions from people down under. I saw some people get them in at 1:30 in the morning, and it's like, oh, okay, all right, I'll let you off the hook. You guys in the UK, Wales, Ireland, in Europe, if you're watching this and you haven't got your submission in, you probably should tune off and get those submissions handed in before this live finishes. And then in America, I think Holly's 4 p.m. So if you're in America and watching this, you're fine. You got lots of time. You can watch and then get them in at the last minute. I know you guys like to do that. Okay, So now, one of us has a proof copy of the book.
I can't wait to see it.
Now, I will get her to show the proof copy of the book. It's not the final product. And the idea behind the proof copy is so that we can check if the photos and everything have printed out well. Obviously, the title is on it. So which one of us has the proof copy, do you think? Now Sarah has a question. How many people will you be selecting? Sarah, at the moment, I've allowed everyone in. And it would not, as I told you, there's an 800-page limit on Amazon Books. And there are about 150 submissions, and the submissions are averaging 10 pages each. So for those of you who are maths oriented, that's 1,500 pages. That would not fit in one book. So I will let you know what I've done about that to allow everyone in. I've only rejected one person, and that's because I checked out their social and it wasn't very pleasant. They were using bad language and calling people bad words. So I rejected that person. All right. Now, for the cover reveal, Imogen has the proof copy. She's a bit pixelated. Imogen, when you got the proof copy, what did you think? What did you think? First impressions, the unboxing.
My first impression was, oh, that's my friend. Oh, can I say that?
Sure. We're going to have to reveal it sooner or later, so it's too late now, isn't it? Like one of those Comic-Con panels, going to go spoiler alert.
Because I knew that you'd sent it, so I was waiting. Obviously, I was at work, and then I've come home from work, completely forgot about it on my drive back, toddling around, went upstairs, put my pajamas on, came back downstairs, and I was like, what's that Amazon parcel? And then I remembered, and I ripped it open. I thought it was amazing. I'm really happy about it. I'm looking at it now. It looks really good. It looks really, really good.
Do you want to see if you can hold it up to the camera, the webcam?
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Now, I know that you guys aren't seeing that well, so what I'm going to do is a share screen. So yes, it is Danielle. This is a better.
It's amazing. That is such an incredible picture.
Now that across the copy that Imogen has, there's a banner kind of across Danielle's eyes. That's only there because it's a proof copy. So that is the actual cover. So you can see what Imogen's holding up. You can see the title there below. And that's it. So that's the cover. That's
Danielle,
the title.
that jawline, I can't even right now.
I feel like the ultimate catfish right now. I tried to recreate the makeup a little bit, but I don't think I did Duncan any justice. Patrick and Duncan, to be honest, the hair.
So fluffy.
Number one catfish.
Daniel, that's a Charlotte Clemmy shot, right?
It is, yes.
Okay, so for those of you who don't,
Clemmy.
yeah, I think 80% of you watching this will know exactly who Charlotte Clemmy is. And to be honest, she's probably provided about 50% of the photos for you guys in the book. And that's a good thing.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, Imogen, your one was a Charlotte Clemmy shoot as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now, just quickly, why did I pick Danielle? And it's not just because I had her photo handy and had no better. I couldn't be bothered. I know I asked you guys about the cover, and a lot of you put in some really good suggestions. I personally like the one that was kind of, it didn't have a face, like a silhouette, so that it was kind of faceless. But a couple of things with that. When it comes to marketing, people are attracted to a face and seeing those eyes. So you can see this is definitely a big headshot. And you can see the pinks. I wanted it to be very, very eye-catching. So my thinking was, if you were going by in the airport, going past one of those bookstores, would that catch your eye? And I was like, well, that will catch your eye. But also, Danielle, throughout 2020, has been a constant source of support and probably the most loyal friend I could ask for. And I know that, especially in 2020, loyalty has not always been rewarded. So I thought, well, if I can put Danielle on the cover as kind of like a thanks, then that'd be nice.
You're making me tear.
Now, of course, she absolutely looks amazing. I'm not saying I'm just putting her up because she's loyal and the picture is horrible. I mean, the photo looks amazing as well. But that is the cover. That is the title. And it's supposed to be a bit tongue-in-cheek. So it's supposed to be a bit naughty. That's why it's black and white. The coloring is hot pink. And Imogen, can you show people the back cover? I just realized I don't have a photo of the back cover.
Oh, it's hot
Yeah,
pink.
so let me blow
that's
you up a
nice.
little bit. Hang on. So you can
you
see
have
there.
the text on the back. It's
What I've
brilliant.
got on the back is simply for your eyes only. So where people normally put a whole blurb about how amazing they are, I was like, it was really tired and I couldn't think of anything, so I just put for your eyes only. So the whole thing is, it's like it's wrapped up in a
love
little
it.
parcel. So Danielle, how does it feel to be on the cover of a book?
Oh, it's emotional. I've never been on the front cover of a book, and I was telling my non-pageant friends about this. I was like, "Oh my God, that's so cool! Am I going to see you around on the bookshelves?" I was like, "I don't know, hopefully." But yeah, it's
That
really,
is
really emotional, exciting. I know I badgered you for ages to be on it. I feel like my persistence was key. I was like, it's me.
Please.
If you're doing a competition, I'm winning. I even booked a photo shoot with Charlotte Clemmy to make sure I had new great images that would go on the front of that book. I didn't know at the time you'd already picked a picture.
well, yeah, because this is not one of the new photos of yours. Your new photo has gone in the chapter. But just to be super clear, it didn't matter that you badgered me. It just, yeah, because I've explained my thinking now, so people just don't think it's blatant favoritism. Some people probably still will, but that's okay. So that is the cover. That is a title. It's not called Secret and Pageant Book. I think some of you actually started to think it was going to be called the Secret Pageant Book. Like, no. The story behind that was I needed a website, a domain, and Pageant Book was taken. And the pageant book was taken. So I ended up just with Secret Pageant Book. That's the title. What else? Guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Now, let me circle around to Holly, because Holly and I were talking, God, it was only like 4 or 5 days ago. I don't think it was a week. Now, Holly, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do? And then we can go into what we're going to do with the book.
I think it might be shorter to say what I don't do. Like all
in terms of mental health, not in terms of you being a tennis superstar and all that other stuff. Just the mental health stuff. Okay.
So essentially, I'm an executive at a mental health startup, and we just launched an app. It's called Truth Map Hologram, and it's a self-care app for women. And basically what it has is content like audio courses and readable lessons to help you with achievement, anxiety, depression, relationships, dating, all of that stuff, grief and trauma. And then it also has chatbot journaling sessions you can do with our chatbot Navi. And you can work through things like your anxiety, or if you're going through a breakup, you can actually do a journaling session and chat with him and converse with him to kind of get you some relief surrounding those issues. And so I'm the chief product officer of Truth Map, which is the company name. And we have a bunch of different products coming out, such as an app that's basically the exact same thing, but it's packaged for men. And then another one that's packaged for people regardless of gender and age. And so I'm essentially in charge of kind of getting the word out there about the products that we develop. And this is our first large product. We've been working on this for over a year, and it's been a long time coming. So it's so excited to like have it out there finally.
So what's happening is that Holly and I are partnering up for the book. And the reason that I thought it was a really good fit for pageantry is so many of you are interested in mental health. So many of you advocate for mental health. And awareness is great, but I really, really I was hoping that there would be a tool that you guys could use if you're actually feeling the pinch, which a lot of you, given that it's back in lockdown and going back into the winter months, could be feeling. Generally, people talk about awareness, which is great, but that doesn't help you in the moment. The other possibility is professional help. I know from experience that can be hit and miss. And the other suggestion often is talk to your friends, which again can be hit and miss. So basically, this is like almost like a therapist in your pocket. And because Holly has designed it as an app, it's available on your phone. And what's going to be happening is it will be a paid service, but we're partnering up to get you guys. Hopefully, we're working on whether it's going to be a discount or a month's free trial. We will work that out. But this is an app that could genuinely save people's lives, which is why I wanted to partner up with Holly on it. So in the book, there will be a link to download the app. I mean, you can download it right now. I mean, go for it. If you look it up on the App Store. Holly, what should they look up on the App Store?
Truth Map Hologram. Truth Map Hologram. And basically it's a freemium model, but you pay for the advanced features like chatting with Navi.
So you can download that now. And once a book comes out, if you purchase a copy of the book, then you will have a code to either give yourself a very significant discount or a month's free trial.
Well, right now, there's lots of free content on there you can explore.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff there. You don't need to pay to access it. But obviously, as Holly said, it's a freemium model. But mental health is a huge, huge problem, not just in pageantry, but in the world at the moment. So that's why I wanted to bring Holly on. That is a game changer. That's a lifesaver. She's probably been working on it so long, she probably doesn't realize how amazing it is. Sometimes when you work on something, you lose track of it.
True.
It's simply that thing, like if someone has a mental health issue, rather than you stressing out about saying the perfect thing and worrying about it, you can literally just refer them on to the app and they can work through some of that really heavy emotional baggage by themselves. And it's not just random psychobabble either. I think, Holly, you should mention who the psychologist, who the person is behind it as well.
Yes. So the founder, or my boss, he has been a clinical psychologist for 35 years. And so he kind of semi-retired to make this startup happen. And I've been involved since the beginning. And so he kind of knows what he's doing. He studied under a bunch of different mentors, but one of them was someone named Julian Rotter, who is the father of clinical psychology. So he has referred to himself as the grandson of clinical psychology. So he really knows what he's doing. One of the guys that he's learned from in his education was one of the guys that created the discipline in general. So it's really nice to have someone that kind of understands the plight of women and can apply their entire, experience to it. And what's been great is him teaching me the psychoeducational material, and then I'm taking it and applying it to these specific situations that women face, like, being afraid to speak up in a boardroom, or going through a breakup with a guy who just keeps coming back around, that kind of stuff. So it's not just me kind of just telling you stuff like, oh, you should, work on your self-esteem and be happier. It's actually science that is backing the content that we're putting out there.
It's a deep, meaningful conversations that you need to have in order to genuinely heal, rather than the positive sort of psychobabble that is nice at the moment, but doesn't really help you with your issues. So I've been through a little session on it, and it asks you some really, really deep questions. You guys who wrote the answers for the book and you were going, those questions are difficult. These questions will really, really make you think. They're much deeper questions, but it's that's amazing. And he's a therapist. He trains therapists himself, right, Holly?
He's training life coaches. So essentially what we're calling it is life coaching. One of the reasons is that he created a therapeutic model called CICT. If you've ever heard of CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, that's essentially what the other apps use, basically every other app. Or if you go and try and get a therapist, they're going to use that, or dialectic behavioral therapy. And so he's created his own. And from that, he created a coaching model, which, one, saying that you're going to go get life coaching has less stigma than I'm going to see a therapist. And so one, that kind of removes the barrier to entry. And a lot of the times it's not that people have mental illness, it's that they have a lot of grief. They have a lot of self-esteem damage. And so, they have anxiety, but it's not necessarily the type that they need a pill for. A doctor needs to diagnose and say, you're mentally ill, you have anxiety. It really comes down to they had self-esteem damage growing up, and that's playing a role in how they interact with other people. They're not anxious to hold a conversation for the sake of, they're anxious because they're afraid of the other person judging them. And so it's wonderful to be able to call it life coaching, but know that it's kind of getting to those deep rooted issues as well, without making people feel like they're having to go through a therapeutic process and they're going to get a diagnosis and stuff.
Stephanie here has asked, do you have a page on you? So Stephanie, what I'll do, and guys watching at home, I'll show you the manuscript as is in a second. It is huge. It's still loading. It's 621 pages, 66,500 words, and that's not actually the entirety. So I've got another announcement to make. But But just before we do that, Holly, Sarah Victoria Bailey has asked, is there an age range the app is best for? My daughter
Yes.
is 15 and suffers with mental health issues.
15. So we kind of designed it for 18 to 35. But I did, when creating the content, take into account that some girls, between 15 and 18 are struggling with the exact same types of situations, like the breakups. You might have 15 is an age that some people are starting to experience, like deeper relationships in high school and such. So if she's interested, I would say that it's something you guys should use together, where you go on and you decide, which audio courses might be best for her. For instance, we do have a course on intimacy that dives into sexual intimacy and the issues that might come up for women and men. But we try to keep everything pretty PG. So essentially, as it stands, I think she'd be okay to go on there with parental guidance.
Perfect. Now, Stephanie has then asked, is it on Android? And she's actually found it.
Yes,
so she's downloading it.
It's on Android. Is it on Android? It's on Android. Yes.
I hope so. So guys, if you do download that app, or someone who needs it, then absolutely you can access it now. Just once the book is published, then you'll be able to get it. Access
and
the
you'll be
page
able to DM me right on there too. I think one of the things I like to say, you can find me on the Connect page. I got a social media component to it, and we're calling it mental health social media, so to speak. And you can DM me if you need advice, or you're just going through it. Just send me a DM on there, and I'll get back to you when I can, and we can chat for a little bit too.
Because it was called Hologram, correct me if I'm mistaken, partly as a play on Holly's name, like Hologram.
No,
Hologram.
I didn't. I didn't even think about that till just now. Do you guys
Really?
want to hear the story behind it? It's really interesting.
I thought that was the story.
No, that literally wasn't. But I'm like, wow, I feel a tad narcissistic of me.
All right, go into the story, then I'm going to show everyone the manuscript.
Okay, so I'm going to show you real quick. This is my computer thing. It's like my computer holder, right? It's iridescent. It's holographic. That's my favorite. It's my favorite thing in the world. It's like the holographic stuff, right? And when you think about kind of like your journey through your mental health, you could be kind of stuck in the mire and the mud, right? And then you kind of transcend that, and then you're walking along and you're good, right? But you could be better. And so I decided to split these different app experiences into something that explained where you're going in terms of your mental wellness. And I noticed that women kind of have this place where they are a little bit more emotionally intelligent than men when it comes to lots of things. And so we're here on Earth, walking the Earth, but then we're going to transcend and be like up in space for a hologram. And men, the male version of the app is going to be called off-road, because they're kind of still stuck here on Earth and they need to get through the mud and the mire first, do the really hard inner work and get to that next place. So that was kind of except for Adrian and my boyfriend and maybe a handful of other emotionally intelligent men that I just have come to know, that's pretty much the majority of the male race needs to do a lot of work before they can get up into outer space with us.
Well, I feel selected. Okay, let's have a look at this manuscript. Imogen, are you ready to see your face?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Very convincing. All right, so we might as well start with.
No, you're done. Are you ready to see your face? I was like,
that's
what do you
lovely.
do? Oh, that's me.
So this guys will give you a basic look into what the insides of the book is going to look like. Now, it's not entirely accurate. So what happens is every one of your portraits will have to be on a left page, which is an even page, and every one of your title pages, so these things here with your names, that's why I've asked you for your titles and your phrase, that has to go on the right page. So there's a formatting thing here, and sometimes because of the way certain chapters end, there will be blank pages. Just to force, for example, Imogen's page ending up on the left. So this, actually, I don't know if you can see it, but the previous chapter finished on 438, and Imogen's would need to be on the next even page, which would be 440. So there's actually a blank page here that's not showing. So it's not entirely accurate, but Imogen's photo on the left, her title page on the right, and her quote underneath of train your mind to see the good in every situation. And then the actual scribblings. All the scribblings there.
This is beautiful.
Imogen's
such a clean layout too.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Imogen's chapter is actually one of the shorter, more concise ones, which is nice. Some people had longer ones. This is my friend Jade, who's over in Melbourne. Now, to give you an idea as to exactly how big this bloody thing is, we'll zoom out. I just wanted to start on a familiar page and a familiar face. And you might see your face here or not. This is currently at 10% magnification. Can I go out anymore? No, I can't.
Nope.
Okay. 620 pages, and it's so big that my computer is actually having a hard time knowing what page it's up to.
Oh, there's little Ellie.
Ah,
Yeah,
there's
you may see some.
There's Ariana.
You may see some familiar faces. Down here is Corinne. I don't know if you can see where my mouse is, but
Oh
that's
yeah, there's
Corinne.
Corinne.
Danielle with a new photo, which I haven't finished editing yet because you can see that it's not taken up the whole page yet. I can see Imogen squinting to get a better look. So let me see if I can zoom in for you. There's Danielle's new photo.
Oh, lovely.
This is my new photo. I've not even posted that on my
I was
Instagram
gonna
yet.
say I haven't even seen
Sneaky
that.
peeky.
Wow.
I had so many people message me after they saw that and be like, "Do you have a new photo you haven't posted?" I was like, yeah. So that's my new
more
my new
Charlotte,
shot.
Clemmy, and
It's
UK
beautiful.
Glam Squad magic there.
Again with the
and-
jawline, Danielle. Jeez.
Yeah, well, that's one thing you can't work on in the gym, is it? Your jawline.
Right. Hey,
Let's go
actually, I
to the gym
saw
and work on
the
my jawline today.
segment. They had like rubber bands around the person's face. They were like doing jaw exercises. I was like, they thought of it all.
I think it's 'cause
Okay,
I'm always
now
chatting
this is the
rubbish.
title page, copyright page. I think very interesting. There's a dedication that I'll put there. Danielle will be writing the forward. But this is a table of contents thus far. So 615 pages. Now,
Thus
can
far.
anyone watching tell me anything peculiar about this table of contents? If you can see it.
It's done by first name.
Yes. So, good. Thank you. We'll be organizing the books alphabetically by first name, just because with 150 submissions, I didn't want to do it in any other order because otherwise it'd be incredibly hard to find. Your names will be in the bottom right corner, so you can flick through quickly. Anything else? Anyone watching at home, tell me anything peculiar about this table of contents in terms of who it's got in it and who it doesn't have in it. This is the end, and that's the beginning. Come on, you guys can do this.
I thought there'd be more people there.
Okay, now you're on the right track. Keep going.
There's
It
a
ends
part
at K.
two.
There's
There's a part two.
It
Yes.
ends at K.
Imogen, what did you say? I think Imogen's blurting it out.
Did I get it right? No,
What
because
did you say? I didn't quite hear you. I think you said it. What did you say?
I said there's a part two yet to come.
Jasmine has it here. It ends at K. Stephanie
Oh.
has. All right, there's no one
Yeah.
after K. So if you remember the old school phone books, they were A to K and then L to Z. Because there were so many of you who submitted, and I've told you there's 150 submissions, averaging 10 pages each, and the maximum pages we can fit in is 800. This is only the first volume of the book. So this suddenly became not one book, it suddenly became two.
I
So
actually
we now.
will guess.
Oh, it was a good guess, Imogen. I knew I brought you on for a reason.
I knew it.
You look so happy with yourself. So I will remove that. There's going to be a second book, and it will be released at the same time. You're not going to have to wait for it. So if your name starts with L or Z and you're freaking out that, oh my God, I'm going to have to wait. No, they'll be released at the same time. But I literally could not fit all of you into one book, and I didn't want to cut half of you out after I said I wouldn't cut anyone out. So there's going to be two books. There's going to be an A to K. Danielle is the cover of A to K because she is in that one. She's D. It's alphabetical by first name. So D. Imogen will also be in that one. I. The other one is L to Z. So then the question is, and Stephanie has asked the question, will it be the same cover or different? Now, if you've been following on my Instagram, you would have seen that I said there was some good news about a certain international queen. And that had to do with the cover and the forward for the other book. Does anyone want to have a guess as to who the cover of the second book is? And hint, it has to be
I
someone
have
whose
a
first name starts
feeling.
between L to Z. Daniel, what letter are you feeling? Tell me what letter and I'll tell you if you're
I'm
right.
feeling it's an L.
You're right. Can anyone guess who's going to be on
I'm
the
very
cover of the
excited.
second book? Holly has no idea.
No clue. Zero. I'm
Trying
like
to look-
racking my brain.
Hint, hint. International queen.
A newly crowned international queen and the first American to win that system.
Oh, I think you told me this the other day.
I did, and you've forgotten.
I have.
Imogen.
Her
Any guesses?
surname.
Her surname doesn't begin with L to Z.
No, but a surname.
Imogen is like, I've been out of the pageant world for too long.
How I feel.
All right, I will show you.
Has anyone got it in the comments?
Yeah, Janice.
That's the name I want to say, but I don't want to get it wrong.
I will show you the video, and then you will know who it is. So here's the video.
Bobby girl, I'm living in my own world. I am plastic, call me classic. You can't touch me there, you can't touch my body unless I say so. Ain't your Bobby, no. I'm my own boss, I'm reminding you often something that you just can't get. Words don't tempt me, trying to break me. In this years, I ain't trying to trip. No, I can take myself on a dinner date. Buy myself diamonds in the champagne. Order 5 courses and chocolate cake. Acting like a can when I want a man. Acting like I can, but I don't. And I do my own thing, yeah, watch me dance. Not your Bobby girl, I'm living in my own.
All right.
Love that
So-
video.
Big reveal. Now, Lindsay did send me a photo in for her cover. It wasn't quite big enough, so she'll have to change it, and we're just working that out at the moment. But to give you an idea, this is a photo.
Wow.
Really good.
She's so beautiful.
I want to look like that.
Her eyebrows are fierce. Oh my goodness.
I know, right?
I think this is, Adrian, this is the video you posted to Instagram like a month or two ago. And I was like, I think my comment says, this looks like a perfume commercial for a perfume called Smash the Patriarchy in Heels. She looks like I would not go toe to toe with her. Like she was fierce in that video.
Oh, I'm sure
Fierce.
it's in real life as well. But Lindsay's actually in this Facebook group. That's why I was thinking some of you might have noticed that she slipped in. Lindsay, if you're watching, hi. But she will be on the cover, and she will be writing the foreword. She has already written the foreword for the second book. It's not really the second because they're coming at the same time, but she'll be on the cover of L to Z. She's Lindsay. She'll be doing the foreword on that book. Danielle's on the cover of A to K, and she'll be writing the foreword for that book. So those two, you probably wrap it up there. There's not much more. Guys, if you have any questions, so those two will be, can I be fancy and do this? There you go.
Amazing.
Oh, they look so good.
L to Z. And you can tell that very specifically I wanted not just a typical pageanty headshot look. I wanted something a bit grittier, something a bit more adult and sexier. So that's what we've gone for. As I said, Lindsay's image actually didn't end up being big enough, so we'll have to switch it, unfortunately, because I said that one looked perfect. But we'll see. We'll see.
Mhm.
So that's the big announcement. So everyone is going to be in it. You'll just have to work in terms of which one you'll be in. Work out. Does your first name begin with the A to K? Z?
My mum is sat on my bedroom floor right now because she wanted to watch. She's sat on the floor, and she just said to me, "You're in the first one." Thank you, I guess. It begins with an I. She's like, "You're going to be in the first
I'm
one."
the first one.
I know.
Was it ever? Did your mum need to tell you that? Were you confused by that image? No.
I think she thought I might have been.
She's like questioning your intelligence.
I can't cope. I know I'm
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Okay, so Janice here said, congratulations, Lindsay, on your recent win and on getting on the cover, and way to go and making your country a member of the Grand Slam Club. Yep, so for those of you who don't know, Lindsay Coffey just won Miss Earth. She's the first American winner of the Miss Earth system, which is one of the biggest pageants in the world. I did interview Laura Clark, her director, and that's how we managed to set this up. So I just thought it would work out really well since I needed another cover. And yes, so one more time, Danielle, A to K. Lindsay, L to Z. If your name is Imogen, you will be in.
In the first one.
Okay.
Number one.
All right. You can buy both. I feel really, the only people that I feel bad for are the Lanes, as in Harriet Lane and Sarah Lane, because Harriet will be in the first one and Mum will be in the second one. So they have to buy both books because they won't be in the same book. I don't think that was that's a spoiler that they're in it. But Leah has said the covers look stunning. Emma J said the covers are amazing, and Stephanie has said still can't get over Danny's eyes. Yeah, Danny, what does one do to get those eyes? What's the workout regime to get eyes like that?
You know what it is? I think the trick is staring people down on the tube.
Honestly, this book cover is like looking at you in the soul and being like, "You better buy this book.
You better
like,
buy
or
me.
else."
You better buy me. I need to get in there. Buy me.
But that's what I want. That's what I wanted. It's like, honestly, like if you go past covers like this, you're gonna have a look at it, right? You're gonna go, "Oh my god, like what's that?" Because of the eyes and the face, and it's black and white. Whereas if I just put Pageant headshots, people would be like, "Oh, you know, who does she think she is?" So
it also slightly looks like a glamorous mugshot. I look like I've got like literally a confession. I've done something terrible.
Like you got arrested in the middle of a beauty pageant.
Yeah.
Well, now we'll talk about that after we've gone off the live. But that was part of it as well. That's why I said I wanted them to be a little cheeky confessions, because I mean, you guys have written all your answers. They're hardly confessions. Although some of your most embarrassing moments, that's been my most favorite part to read, has been embarrassing moments. Who was it? Natalie Drought over in America, 17-year-old. She's IJM Texas, I think. And her embarrassing moment, she was playing volleyball. And I don't know how volleyball, like what the rules are, but her coach moved her into a position she wasn't familiar with and basically required reflexes, which she did not have. So the ball came to her. She panicked. Remember, this is volleyball. You're supposed to do this and this, right? She kicked the ball rather than catching it really, really hard, went straight into the net and whacked a girl on the opposite side right in the face.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I've been loving reading all your guys' embarrassing moments.
I knew that was going to be in there. That's why.
One time I was in PE and it was like we had just done 6 weeks of volleyball and we just started basketball and it was the first day and someone like was dribbling and they passed me the basketball and I volleyed it like that. My wrists were sore for like 2 weeks because basketballs are so heavy. I never lived it down.
Yeah.
They never passed me the ball of basketball after that.
You don't do that with basketball. Imogen, what was your embarrassing moment that you put in the book?
Well, I couldn't actually. My actual embarrassing story isn't book appropriate. So I had to give my second most embarrassing story, which is pretty much every time that I tell someone that that's pretty much every single time.
What did you say?
What did you say?
Did you hear that? You started
We dropped the
whispering.
audio.
Sounds like you said every time I sell someone I'm pregnant. I was like, what?
Every time I tell someone that I can't ride a bike.
Oh,
Can't ride a bike.
Oh, okay. She got so low there. I was like, what's
Okay.
going on?
You can't ride a bike.
Hmm.
Okay.
No, I
That's not
can't.
that bad.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. My embarrassing story, I can't. Maybe you guys can hear it after.
I put my second worst embarrassing story. I couldn't put the first one. I've already said the first one on a live. I just said go and check out podcast number 44 if you want to know my real embarrassing story.
Yeah, I'm not going to forget that one for a very long time, Danielle.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Holly and Imogen, have you seen that? Did
I
you
didn't
hear
think
what she said?
No.
Thank God.
I even put it up as a clip on my Instagram.
You did?
So
You
you
Oh,
guys
I can't
have
believe I
it.
missed it.
Yeah.
I knew you would, and I knew that question would come up, and I was not going to give you the satisfaction of me putting it down into words to put into the book. So instead I just gave the podcast a little bit more promo to go. So if anyone is intrigued, I believe it's episode 44 with Victoria Silva. My most embarrassing story is in that one.
Poor old Victoria. I don't know. See, I was watching that back, and I don't know if Victoria actually understood exactly what you were saying. I know she.
I think she
understood
gathered at
certain
the end.
words. Yeah, and Chloe was basically choking the whole time. She was laughing so hard she couldn't breathe properly. And I picked my co-hosts well. Okay. All right. So, guys, if you have any questions, so to wrap it up, partnering with Holly with the mental health app, that'll be amazing. Danielle's a cover on A to K. Lindsay Coffey is the cover on L to Z, although that's not the actual cover because that photo didn't turn out. We didn't have it in high enough quality, so we'll have to change it. Both books will be released at the same time. So if you're an L to Z by your first name, you will be in the second book. Both books are going to be closing in on that 800-page maximum. They're going to be significantly big. So this is my first book, and this is a 6-inch by 9-inch book, which is the same size as both of these books will be. And to give you an idea, that's not even 200 pages. So 800, it's going to be a bit of a tome. So yeah, and then there's 2 of them. So 1,600 pages worth of pageant goodness for your Christmas holidays. They will be available on Amazon. So if you can normally buy things through Amazon, you will be able to get it through Amazon, and hopefully in time for Christmas. And submissions are closing up as we speak. You guys in the UK, you've got like 2 hours left to get them in. I hope you haven't left them all to the last minute. Holly, what time is it for you?
Yeah, so don't forget you're going to get a code to upgrade to the premium on the Truth Map Hologram app. So if you get the book, you'll get the code in there too.
Yep. Okay. So anyone else got any questions for me? I'm just going to quickly check my Instagram. Imogen, why don't you catch us up with how your week has been, just whilst I'm doing this? I normally start the podcast with this. How's your week been?
All right. I mean, what can I say? I just want to be on holiday. But you know, I'm at work. Yeah, it's okay. I'm just glad to not be, well, I say not be in lockdown. We are still, because I'm from Bristol, so I'm in tier 3 at the moment. I'm hoping maybe we'll go down to tier 2 on the 16th on Wednesday. I'm not sure. But obviously, because I'm going to work at the moment, nothing's really that different other than I just can't go and see any of my friends, or like I spoke to my godmother yesterday and I said I just want to come over and just because I just go over there for a cup of tea or whatever and just have like a chat, and obviously I can't, so that's weird. Oh yeah, Team Bristol, hello. Yeah, so that's weird, but other than that I don't really notice that much because I am working, but on the weekend it does hit you a little bit.
Imogen, is it true that, I'm not going to ask you if you're from Bristol. I know you're from Bristol, but is it true that your accent is nothing like a typical Bristolian accent?
Mum's saying no, it's not. No, a lot of people say it's not.
But what's a typical Bristol accent?
We
Go on.
We talk like farmers. Well, we're like West Country, aren't we? So, I think I do. I am a little bit Brazilian sometimes. If I can talk about, I could do it like this now, like just let it really slip, and then just let it slip a little bit, and then I can't even really do it now. Like that's kind of it. I'm not that good at it. Yeah, right, me lover.
Has written all right, me lover.
Yeah, that. Like I'm trying to think. We have got some other pageant girls that are from Bristol.
In fact, one of the most successful UK or British pageant girls is actually from Bristol. Bristol has actually churned out some very good pageant talent, I must say. Amy Willerton was from Bristol.
Yeah.
Top 10 in Miss Universe.
But even Amy Willerton doesn't have a very Bristolian accent. It's weird. It depends what area you're from as well. Like Bristol's really small, but it depends sort of, I think, what area you're from. I don't know. But sometimes I notice it. Sometimes I don't.
We have the same thing in Spanish too. So where I grew up in the Dominican Republic, I learned a type of Spanish called campesino. Like it's essentially like when you're from the farm, basically is what it says. And so you'll shorten your words and you'll remove the S's from certain words. So instead of saying vete para allá, you would say vete para allá. And you literally cut all the words in half, essentially. And so I remember when I came back to the States and I had to do AP Spanish in high school, in American high school, my teacher was so impressed by my Spanish, but he was like, Holly, you can't be talking like a farmer anymore. And he made me like learn the proper Spanish. And I was like, this is terrible. I was like, I can say the words so much shorter and get my point across so much faster. So I totally get you on the different types of like, dialect.
Like us. I think Bristol's quite a lazy. the more tired I get, and actually the more angry I get. If I get angry.
Have you guys ever watched The Office? Have any of you guys ever watched The Office?
Yeah.
Do you remember the episode where Kevin, he's like talking with all as little words as possible, and he goes, "Why use lots words when little words do trick?" And he literally was like removing it all from every sentence, and I laugh so hard every time I see that episode.
Imogen, also, can I just give a shout out to your mum for randomly appearing in the back of your stories?
Brilliant.
She doesn't say anything.
Oh, so funny.
And she is hilarious because you're doing your thing where Imogen's stories, her phone is always going like this, like always sliding for some reason, which I can't understand. Like,
Slidey
is
phone.
your house on a tilt? I don't understand. But every now and then, Imogen's mum just turns up in the background and just looks at the camera like this. And then walks off.
And then walks off.
And then she'll come back in and then walks off. And I swear to God, Imogen's funny. But
She
the
backs
addition
out.
of your mum in the background just randomly going through, it's like, oh my God, that's hilarious.
She goes on and she goes this, as if to say, "Oh, she's doing it again," and then she just goes.
The look on the face says, "What are you doing with your life, Imogen?" That's what I took from the face. It's like, what are you doing? Who are
Last
you
night I
talking
was
to?
sat in my room and I was talking to myself, right? Because that's something I do quite often. She opened the door. She went, "Who are you talking to?" And I just looked at her and I went, "Myself." And she was like, "Okay," and just I can't breathe.
Oh my God.
Closed the door and walked out, and I was like, "Okay, good chat."
Now you see why when I say if you want entertainment, don't get Netflix, don't get YouTube, don't go to the movies. Just follow Imogen Chapman and watch her stories. Because I guarantee you, it's 1,000 times more entertaining. And it's free and you can watch it back again and again and again and again. And it gets funnier each time.
Oh, it's really great.
Streaming service.
For them and make them into gifs and memes.
Oh,
GIFs.
do you want to try doing your hair flick one again?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, Holly, if you saw that. Imogen has got this. Careful with your neck.
Oh, with the big ponytail. Oh my gosh, that's great.
And I put it to music, and I just made it a never-ending GIF, and she's going round and around and around and around.
I was laughing
Love
so
it.
much when you sent that through because I just wasn't expecting it. Oh, but
You know, the best part about that, though, Imogen, was afterwards, the next day, you go, my neck hurts.
I think I honestly, I put it on my close friend's story. I couldn't move my neck, and I was sat in bed like, "What have I done?"
Gosh.
And
Put
I
yourself
had
in a neck brace.
a tiger balm like all over the back of my neck because it was so painful.
Such an old woman.
Oh my
Hang on, let me show people in case you haven't seen it.
I love it. That is great. That is brilliant.
It's also the hand slap on the side.
To give you context, Imogen just had this on her story. Like she was, I don't know why she was doing it. I think she was bored. And
No,
then I
was
just looked at that and went,
dancing to the Foo Fighters. That's
Okay.
that's what I was doing at that moment with my dad.
oh.
That was what I was doing.
God.
I was doing the head.
This is what happens when you trap pageant girls indoors with nothing to do. That's what happened.
Adrian, I've got to go ahead and hop off now because I've got a life coach client at 5. So
Go for it. Go for it. Thanks for jumping on.
thank you so
Holly.
much,
So
guys.
good to see you.
Yes, so good to see you again. Bye. It's nice meeting you. You're hilarious.
All right. I've just made Imogen famous. Oh, looking at that makes my head hurt and my neck hurt. Okay.
Adrian, we'll be getting the tiger balm out tomorrow. I know what you're like. Trying that later.
Yeah. Thinko robe. I used to have hair as long as yours, so if only I tried that back in the day, I
Oh,
would have been able to. Actually, mine was longer than yours. Mine was halfway down my back, so I
I
would
need
have been able to
to
even
grow.
get a few people. Emma J has asked, when can we buy the book? When I finished it. Emma J is a simple answer. But in theory, submissions close today. And then there are people who've got their submissions in sort of at the last minute, not late, but last minute. So I need to get those into the book. You've seen how big the manuscript is. So put them in, and then I need to proofread the whole thing, and I'll give it a once over, which is why I told you guys, please at least run it through a spell check. Clean up the formatting, finalize the covers, and then I need to submit it to Amazon. There's a brief approval process, which can take up to 3 days, but last time I tried, it took 8 hours when I sent Imogen the proof. And then I'll let you guys all know when it's available to buy, and just go to Amazon and buy it. Also, I should mention for you guys still watching now, if you want to buy multiple copies, or you want to, and this is one thing I was thinking, it probably will make a good fundraiser, but only for sort of people who get on it early, because I think a lot of people are going to buy this book. But if you want to do a fundraiser, maybe use the book to raise funds, just get in touch with me. Or if you need to buy like 5 or 10 copies, get in touch with me, and I will sort out a different price for you. Because if you buy through Amazon, then literally if it's £20 for one and you want to buy 10, it's going to be £200. I will be able to sort it out. I can ship it to you from Amazon and maybe do you a bit of a discount. But please don't ask for a discount just because you want to haggle. I have no interest in that. But if you are buying multiple copies, or you're a director and you want to use it for promo material, or something like that, do get in touch with me. But serious like stuff only. And Danielle was going to say, don't bother buying a copy, because I'm going to send you one, because obviously you're on the cover. And I'll do the same for Lindsay as well. Sarah Victoria, do you have a paragraph I want to know your answers to? I could. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to do the introduction, but I could. So I wonder if that would put me very first in the book, because I'm Adrian right now. Janice, Imogen, Janice has asked, what's your IG handle? She's been sufficiently impressed by you.
Imogen Lottie Chapman. So Lottie Chapman.
There you go. Nadia, I'm late. Busy sorting out assignments. Brief.
Come on, girl.
Nadia, we haven't got the time, hon.
Couple
We
of hours
haven't
left.
got the time.
Nadia, here's the 30-minute crib session. Danielle's on cover of volume 1. We have 2 volumes because there's too many to fit in one volume, and I didn't want to cut anyone out. Lindsay Coffey was a surprise international queen. She is on. I should show you the actual. I'm putting it at the screen rather you can't see it. So Nadia, there you go. Volume 1. It's going to be organized alphabetically by first name. So you will actually be in Lindsay's in the Lindsay book. But A to K on the left with Danielle on the cover. L to Z with Lindsay on the right. Because I didn't want to cut anyone out, and we've had so many submissions, there was no way I could fit it in one book. We've had a look at the manuscript, which I can. We've also had a laugh at Imogen. That is never, Imogen, that's never not going to be funny, I have to say. And this is the A to K manuscript at the moment, Nadia. 36 pages long until my computer catches up. There you go. So that is A to K, and you can see it takes so long to load that it's kind of having a bit of a hernia, but you can see Freya Taylor there. There's Freya Moore. So familiar faces, left, right, and center. There's Imogen. So Nadia, that's the long and short of it. So there's going to be two books that'll be available at the same time. Danielle is on cover the first, and Lindsay Coffey on cover the second. Okay, OMG, I love that. Haha, that made my night. I'm going to assume that's Imogen's dancing, not the covers. Nadia said, "Love you guys."
I'm getting some Instagram followers tonight. Thank you for that.
We get influx.
Come on,
You're welcome. I honestly, when I say that people should just follow you, if for nothing else to watch your stories, I really mean it. Like, I get, anytime you post up a story, I get kind of excited because I'm like, I wonder what silly stuff Imogen has posted up today, and you never disappoint. I have to say, it's never boring. It's never like, oh, here I'm a serious pageant girl, and I'm an influencer. No, yours got your hair flick going. I'm like, what are you doing? But it's funny.
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
Do any of us really know what we're doing in 2020? Some questions I had over on Instagram. How many hours has it taken you to make? Don't ask. I've been waking up and going to bed and not much else other than the book. I haven't even really been eating properly. I haven't been hungry. I've just been working. How are you going to celebrate? With alcohol? Neelam Patels has asked, will we be able to purchase or download a copy? Yep, on Amazon. I will obviously send a message into this group and on the email list when it's available to purchase. I won't forget that. How many people will be featured?
Too many.
This many. The last row is 141, and I know there's probably about 10 in my email box waiting for me. So this is, there you go. That's the entire list. I'm excited for the first one. Can't wait for the second, says Crystal Gale. That's funny because the second one's coming out at the same time as the first. You'll be happy with that. And what's been your favorite part of this project so far? Well, the embarrassing moments have been really, really funny to watch, but also just how global the book has become. So obviously there's a lot of UK people involved, a lot of American, a lot of Australia. But we had one from Uganda, I think. So it's just nice to... Yeah, Ireland's getting in there. There's a Netherlands. There's a Miss Earth Netherlands in there. So it's nice just to see that it's broadening out and becoming really, really global. And then hopefully when we do the next one, it'll become even more global because we're just, I like to bring people together and produce a book. Because I think it's a nice feeling to be in a printed book and obviously be on the cover of a book. Although I wouldn't know what it's like to be on the cover of a book. So Danielle, you'll have to tell me. After you see your copy. I've never been on
a hard copy of it.
I've read it
yeah.
quite a few times.
Do I have to
now.
go around to like all appearances now when we're all back together and sign copies?
Yeah. That's a really good idea.
I'm taking all the
finally
credit and none of the work.
You are going to be low-key a little bit famous, Danielle. At least, I mean, everyone knows you in the UK, but like in America, people are going to go, oh, you're the person that was on the cover of the book.
No, they probably won't recognise me in real life. I don't look like that. I don't look like that.
You're going to be holding, you'll be like, that's me. And it's like, no, you're not. Tell us another one. Like, nah. Imogen, what you were saying? Imogen. So Imogen's proof copy is like 80 pages long. It's very,
and
very early.
I reread it. I read it on Saturday, all of it on Saturday. And then I reread some of it yesterday. What day are we on? Monday. Yeah, and then I reread some of it yesterday. But it's really interesting actually, because then I've read people's chapters and then I've gone to find them on like their socials and stuff. And then I've had like a little look and I've been like, or like names that I recognize. Like there's someone in it. Can I say a name?
Yeah. I've said nothing secret anymore.
I didn't know if it was top secret. Kirsty Drakes. She is she's doing National Miss and her daughter does Little Miss Teen Great Britain, which obviously I did Miss Teen Great Britain. I was Miss Teen Great Britain. So yeah, and it's just interesting to be able to put like two and two together and be like, oh, right. And like to think I have been in the same room as you at Galaxy or whatever, but we haven't actually met properly. Like it's almost like I'm meeting them for the first time. Yeah, and then I'm going for a little look.
You do get an insight into people that you might not otherwise get. Some people have absolutely amazing stories, particularly the answers to the first question. Just a couple paragraphs about yourself, and you can see people's personality. Some are very factual, some are very silly, and then you get the occasional, like, really sort of deep, meaningful stories. And it's like, oh wow,
I can't remember what I put on mine. Probably not something very good. I'm not very good with words. Like, honestly, these questions came through. I opened it up, like, ready to go, and I looked at it, and I was like, and I texted both of you, and I said, I don't know what I'm doing. And then I thought,
those questions were not difficult to answer. They were the easiest. The only one I thought that could have been tricky was, what's the biggest issue facing young women today? That one you have to give some thought to. But the other one...
It was that was the one. Describe yourself in a paragraph or two, and I thought, do I put I have brown hair? Like I didn't. So I know what that means, but it was just trying to like. I'm not very good at talking about myself, So
Just say,
being able
follow
to
me
do
on
that is
Instagram
cool.
to get some insight.
Yeah. Want more insight? Follow my Insta. Like, I didn't quite know, but I got there in the end. I think I put something in there about goats, actually.
That's
But
right.
yeah,
The goats
it's
made an appearance.
yeah.
Yeah, some people literally put like I'm a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl who loves to have, from southern Texas. That was more of an American kind of answer. But there was no right or wrong. But those questions were not difficult. Because I figured
No.
like that paragraph or two, it's like pageant intro. I figured you guys would have done enough pageant intros to last you the rest of your life. So I wasn't looking for anything deep and meaningful.
I feel like it's just a version of, the pageant interview typical question, tell us a little bit about yourself. You should, if you're a pageant girl, have something concise to say prepared when you walk into that room to give the judges a feel of who you are. So I just reeled off what I would say in a pageant interview when they ask me who are you.
I don't have yours in here, Danny, and I really was looking forward to reading it.
Because I was a little bit later.
Well,
I
that's
hadn't
not good enough,
added
is it?
Danielle. I just needed to put enough in there because it needed to print on the spine of the book needed a minimum of 80 pages. So I just put in the first ones that I had edited.
Oh, yeah, I
But
don't
the
know.
real book is going to be a lot thicker than that. You'll be able to knock someone out with it. So
Good to know.
Like a pageant
Yeah.
directory.
Yeah. I think that's it. If there's anything else, that's all the questions, I think. Guys, if you have any more questions, thank you everyone for watching. And yeah, if I've gotten your submission, it's in there. I've only turned one person away, but I've also blocked them from this group now, so they wouldn't know that they're not in it. Yeah.
Scandal. Maybe you should have put them in for the real life scandal.
Yeah.
Danielle, I'm pretty open-minded, but I'm not going to include a Satanist.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No.
Someone who worships Satan. There's a certain degree to which I'm willing to go. Worshipping Satan is. I'm open-minded, but that's probably one step too far for me. So yeah, I'm not lying. You guys are like, what? I was like, no. When I actually read it, it's like, she's a Satanist. I don't even know how to say it, but yeah, I'm not feeling so good about this one. So, can you imagine if you were the person next to that person's chapter, and every time they turned over from your chapter, they read about this person who worships Satan? It's not going to be.
Yeah.
I have to be wary of people's reputations like that. So I can't do that. But yeah, that was the one person that got the cut.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, you see, and I was debating whether or not to tell them I was cutting them from the book because, I just think if you tell someone who worships Satan that you're cutting them from the book, you're probably not going to get a reasonable response back. You're just going to cop a lot of hate. So I was like, I'm just like, sorry, bye. But, yeah.
I support the decision.
Imogen, what are you typing to me in that?
Don't read that out loud. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, no. We'll discuss that later. Imogen, sorry, guys, if you've never been on the podcast, there's a private chat here for the people on the call. And Imogen's asking me a question that's like, no, that's not. That's not.
No, that's not.
Oh, my God.
That's,
all right.
You know what I'm on about. Okay, we'll talk about after.
Guys, so just remember, I'm not going to message. I will put in the group when they're available to buy. I will also send an email around. There's going to be 2 books released pretty much at exactly the same time, and it'll be alphabetical by first name. If you are someone, actually, this example doesn't really work, but for example, some people have put doctor in the front of their name. So, for example, Angel Patel is Dr. Angel Patel. If you've got doctor, I'm still going by the A in your name, just so you know. So if you're like Dr., let's say Lindsay was a Dr. Lindsay Coffee, I would still have her in the L to Z book, not the A to K book, okay? But I will if you have any questions about which book am I in, then let me know and I can sort it out very easily. Sarah Victoria has said Imogen's
Or
face.
just ask Imogen's mum, she'll tell you.
Why not? Like, yeah, I know. I'm not that stupid. I got it.
I know. I got it in my hand.
And also, Adrian told me 2 minutes ago, so I know.
It's funny. They will make the blonde jokes. I always say that Olivia McPike is our resident blonde. because of the mishaps that she has. Imogen, you can take that moniker if you want. You can be the resident blonde.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
If you want to. But shout out to all the pageant moms out there, because you guys just make everything better and funnier.
Mum did just
including-
whisper to me on her way out, is he going to do a pageant mum book? She wants to be in a book. She wants to be in a book.
Sarah Lane is in this book.
Yeah, but my mum's not a pageant.
She's not
She's not
competing.
competing.
But she can
Oh,
still
so
be in
she
it, though.
won-
It's anyone from the pageant. You said anyone
Mum
from
was
the pageant.
like, he should do a pageant mum book. Like this, but just with mums.
Volume 3.
Volume 3, pageant mums. Volume 4, pageant dads. No, too much.
Asking me about volume 3 before I finish volumes 1 and 2 is like asking a woman who's in the middle of labor, so, gonna have another one? Not the right time, guys. It's just not the
Okay,
right
we'll
time.
discuss that next year.
Going into labor or the third book?
The third book.
All right. Okay. Danielle or Imogen, anything exciting coming up in the next week before we hang up with the audience?
Couple of shoots here and there, which is good. Other than that, I'm planning a few appearances and I really want to do a collection. I need to get a post up about that. Also, with the pageant stylist, I need to do a post about this. There's so many posts I need to do. For goodness sake, Danielle, get your bottom in gear. I'm actually putting my prices up from the pageant stylist as from the beginning of the new year. So if anyone doesn't want to get booked in with me for 2021, I recommend booking in before January. I'm taking a £10 deposit and then you'll keep the lower price in the new year, because a lot of people said, I don't want to go over my pageant wardrobe yet. My pageant's not until, say for example, you're doing Galaxy and you're not competing until November. So they feel like it's a bit too soon to book in. And also with like Christmas money and everyone's you want to spend money on your family at this point. Of course. So I'm taking a £10 deposit if you do want to get booked in for the new year. So if you want to get booked in, just slide into the DMs and then we'll get that arranged for you. And then you can pick a date either later on or whatever suits really. But other than that, that's about it. I need to get a load of posts out.
Busy. Miss Chapman?
I am not really doing anything too exciting. I am planning an event at the moment, but obviously we have to wait until Corona is maybe a little bit less than she is right now. But this won't be for a long time. This will be for next year. But yeah, I have been looking into things and planning things. So I will be doing more of that this week. I've got a few people that I need to meet with and on FaceTime, not in person. And, a few people that I need to chat with and stuff. But yeah.
And Imogen is, for those of you who don't know, she was Miss Teen GB, but she's now Miss Galaxy Bristol. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
First time is
Yeah.
no more 20 nonsense.
Yeah, no more 20. I'm 21 now, so adult. I am
and
excited.
You've become so much more mature, haven't you? It's 21 looks good on you, I'm just saying.
What can I even say at this point? I don't even know.
Anyway, Danielle Nadia has a question here for you. Danielle, do you know you'll be free for Intercontinental?
So what I do with my clients is we do a video call for an hour and we go over your entire competition wardrobe. So I don't necessarily have to be there on the day. We have you prepared, looking pageant perfect prior to your pageant. We'll go over what you currently have. If you don't have anything at all, we'll source things. And I can, we'll narrow it down to the type of gown that you're going to go for. Basically, I am your eyes on the interweb looking for pieces for you. So I always have in mind what my clients are missing, and I check in with them every couple of months or so to make sure that they're all prepared. And then, we'll just get you all perfect for your pageant. Just make sure everything's happening. It's nice just to have a solid hour with a stylist. I mean, I would love to do the same if I could. I have an out of body experience. That would be great. Just sit myself down for that solid hour, and we just go over it so that you are just done for your pageant. You are ready, and those little bits that are left, you've got someone that's got your back, that's looking for them pieces for you. And I send an influx of pictures and everything to my clients. Those of you that are watching and my clients know that I probably bombard your inbox a little bit too much with options, and I don't like to tease my clients and be like, oh, you should go for something like this. I send them pictures of items that are available to buy. So these are for sale. I've already checked they are for sale. This is the price. They're within your budget.
Right.
And then if someone wants to create something, I know tons of designers all around the world that will fit your budget and your style.
Because to clarify, Danielle has actually worked as a stylist professionally before for some very big name brands, including Kate Spade.
Yeah.
So she's not just fallen off the turnip truck saying, hey, hire me as a stylist. She knows what she's talking about. So I'm happy to hear that she's actually putting up her prices. But guys, if you want to lock in the lower price, then as Stephanie here said, Danielle just reminded me to pay my deposit. And that
I can't wait.
Having
Honestly,
a styling session with you.
I can't wait to work with Stephanie. Like, she's going to be a dream, and I just love doing it. And yeah, I feel like this is really my calling, along with my photography as well. I'm such a creative person, and for me, pageantry is just moving art, and that's what I have. I have the girl, the vision, the styling, the hair, the makeup. Obviously, pageantry is a lot more beyond that, and I always say, like, this gown is not going to, give you the win. It's always the girl that wins, not the dress. But it's what can help you on stage is the confidence that the girl has in that dress, that they feel $1 million, and that can tip the win for sure.
Absolutely. Imogen, Sarah Victoria, a screenshot of Imogen's hair toss should have been the back of the book. I feel like I've either enhanced Imogen's reputation or damaged it tonight. I'm not sure which, but either way, she's gotten more followers. Okay, so let's leave it there. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you to Danielle and Imogen for their time, as well as Holly. I will let everyone know once the book is out for purchase, but submissions are pretty much closed now, I guess, really, unless you're in America watching, or unless you're in the UK and you're going to do it in the next 90 minutes. But thank you to everyone, and I feel like we should play this just one more time. And
Hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember to head up to pageantlaunch.com to join the launch team for our pageant review site. All you have to do is enter your email address. It's completely free. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with your friends and follow us on all our socials. Thanks, and see you next time.